Okay, learners, now we may continue. Now we have to discuss about international financial reporting standards. What are international financial reporting standards? We have already discussed about accounting standards, AS and IND-AS in the earlier sessions. Now we have to discuss about international financial reporting standards. First of all, we have to understand the important features of international financial reporting standards. What are the characteristics of international financial reporting standards? First, these are global accounting standards. IFRS are global accounting standards. Second, the standards are principle-based. International financial reporting standards are not rule-based standards. Those standards are principle-based standard. Likewise, the agency which formulate international financial reporting standards is known as IASB, International Account Standards Board. Then another important characteristics of international financial reporting standard is that these are issued with the intention of applying the standards across the globe on a consistent basis. Shortly, international financial reporting standards are principle based and it is relevant across the globe. It is relevant in G20 nations. It is relevant in more than 140 countries. That is the significance of international financial reporting standards. As far as India is concerned, it is relevant in India only. But as far as international financial reporting standards are concerned, those standards are relevant and significant in more than 140 countries. That is the significance of international financial reporting standards. Besides, those standards ensure high quality, transparent reporting. Most important objective of international financial reporting standard is to report the accounting transaction in a most transparent way, to record all relevant business transactions in a high quality, transparent way. That is a basic objective of international financial reporting standard. Likewise, international financial reporting standards helps the entity to compare. It helps for comparison. It facilitates interpretation. It facilitates application. Every international financial reporting standard has a structure to ensure uniformity and facilitate reading, interpretation, and application. Every international financial reporting standard has a special structure to ensure uniformity and facilitate reading, interpretation, and application. Every international financial reporting standards has a introduction part and standards part and basis of conclusion part and implementation guidelines part, illustrative examples part, and dissenting opinions of board members part. I may repeat again. Every international financial reporting standards has a structure to ensure uniformity. It includes IFRS includes introduction part, standards part, basis of conclusion part, implementation guidelines part, illustrative examples part, and dissenting opinions of board members. Therefore, international financial reporting standards is relevant and significant in more than 140 countries. Now, what is IAS? International Accounting Standards. IFRS is known as International Financial Reporting Standards, while IAS are known as International Accounting Standards. International Accounting Standards were an older set of standards. The new name is International Financial Reporting Standards. The old name is International Accounting Standards. That is the main difference between International Accounting Standards and International Financial Reporting Standards. The International Accounting Standards were an older set of standards stating how particular type of transaction and other events should be reflected in financial statements. In the past, international accounting standards were issued by the board of the International Accounting Standards Committee. Please note it. Now it is IASB. Okay. The older name is International Accounting Standards. The new name is International Financial Reporting Standards. Since 2001, the new set of standards has been known as International Financial Reporting Standards and has been issued by the International Accounting Standards Board. Now, we have to understand about the different dimensions of IFRS. We have to discuss about the different dimensions of International Financial Reporting Standards. First, conceptual framework. Second, International Accounting Standards. Third, IFRS. Fourth, SIC interpretation, Standard Interpretation Committee. Fifth, International Financial Reporting Interpretation Committee, IFRIC. That means the framework of International Financial Reporting Standards includes 5 pillars. The 5 pillars, the most relevant mark is pillars. The 5 important pillars to IFRS are: first, conceptual framework. Second, International Accounting Standards. Third, IFRS. Fourth, Standard Interpretation Committee, interpretation. Fifth, International Financial Reporting Interpretation Committee, interpretation. The 5 pillars to IFRS. In other words, IFRS means first, conceptual framework. Second, International Accounting Standard. Third, IFRS. And fourth, Standard Interpretation Committee, interpretation. And fifth, International Financial Reporting Interpretation Committee, interpretation. All of the 5 means IFRS. In other words, IFRS includes all those elements. IFRS includes all those 5 elements. Different dimensions of IFRS are: first, I may repeat again, first, conceptual framework. Second, International Accounting Standards. Third, IFRS. Fourth, Standard Interpretation Committee, interpretation. Fifth, International Financial Reporting Interpretation Committee. Now in India, Government of India has implemented an Indian version of IFRS or IAS, that is known as Ind AS. Okay. But IFRS is significant and relevant in more than 140 countries. Then, what are the important current International Financial Reporting Standards? First, IAS 1, Presentation of Financial Statement. Second, IAS 2, Inventories. Then IAS 7, Statement of Cash Flow. Then IAS 8, Accounting Policies, Changes in Accounting Estimate and Errors. Then 5, IAS 10, Events after Reporting Period. Then IAS 11, Construction Contract. Then IAS 12, Income Taxes. Then IAS 16, Property, Plant and Equipment. IAS 16, Property, Plant and Equipment. Then IAS 17, Accounting for Leases. IAS 18, Revenue. IAS 19, Employee Benefits. IAS 20, Accounting for Government Grants and Disclosure Government Assistance. IAS 21, the effects of changes in foreign exchange rate. IAS 23, Borrowing Cost. IAS 24, Related Party Disclosure. IAS 26, Accounting and Reporting by Retirement Benefit Plans. Then IAS 27, Separate Financial Statement. IAS 28, Investment in Associate and Joint Ventures. Then IAS 29, Financial Reporting in Hyperinflationary Economies. IAS 32, Financial Instruments Presentation. IAS 33, Earning per Share. IAS 34, Interim Financial Reporting. IAS 36, Impairment of Asset. IAS 37, Provisions, Contingent Liability and Contingent Asset. And IAS 38, Intangible Asset. IAS 39, Financial Instruments Recognition and Measurements. IAS 40, Invest in Property. Then IAS 41, Agriculture. Okay. Now, what is IndAS. I have already discussed about IndAS. IndAS is the Indian version of IFRS. In other words, Government of India has adopted IFRS as IndAS. Okay. The idea of convergence of Indian GAAP with IFRS was made by India's commitment in G20 to align Indian accounting standards with IFRS. Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has decided to converge its accounting standards with IFRS for accounting periods commencing on or after April 1, 2011 in a phased manner as envisaged the roadmap of IFRS formulated by MCA. In simple words, Government of India, Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Institute of Chartered Accountants of India have decided to implement IFRS or IAS in India as IndAS. Okay, we may continue in another session. Thank you.